أشرف المرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا وأنت تجعل الحزن إذا شئت سهلا. We thank Allah the Almighty for affording us opportunity to get us through over the last 4 months. After 4 months of painstaking, sometimes tedious, hard work, at last we have made it. I'm thankful to you for your time and for your cooperation. But today, let's quickly have what I'd like to call an executive summary of all what we have done, just to have a recap and, if you like, a fresh insight into all what we have been doing over the last 4 months, so that you will go with something tangibly linked to your brain. So, inshallah, today our lesson it's a quick revision, like I said. Basically, I want it to be in some way interactive. Okay. The objective of the study, as you know, the lesson is Daawah Methodology, right? So, but the objective is to remind us. What the objective of the lesson? This is Daawah class, right? Why are we here, literally? To convey or to know how to convey? To know how to convey. So the lesson essentially is to provide you with basic tools and skills to propagate Islam. We are in some way copying the concept of evangelism expounded by people of other faiths who always find it necessary to invite more people, unless of course those people who do not like to invite other people to their religion. But every religion has its own way of inviting people. So Daawah Methodology basically is a class designed to provide students with necessary tools and ingredients of knowing how to propagate Islam. We are not saying that everyone has to be da'iyah, but at least it is a point of duty for everyone to know, because of the reward Allah the Almighty reserves for those who invite even a single person to religion. And as you all know, Islam has remained a subject of misinformation, negative stereotype, misrepresentation, unlike any other in its history. So, being a da'iyah, by doing that, you have at least contributed your quota toward the debate, toward propagating, or, if you like, clearing those misconceptions about Islam. Having said that, it is critically urgent to know how to present Islam in its true color to all those misguided audience. So everyone, it is not a one-man task. It is not something reserved only to Islamic scholars who are extremely knowledgeable. No, me, you, everyone can do that. Okay. Well, as we said, our methodology basically was centered, was focused around some 5 key areas: what to present, to who to present, where to present, when to present, and how to present. When we came to the first point, that is what to present, it is of course Da'wah. What is Da'wah? Last time when I asked you started giving me different stories. Simply, what is Da'wah? Halfway. To propagate, to invite, literally right from the root Da'a means to invite. So propagating Islam, if you like, is Da'wah, and of course it is extremely rewarding task, because Allah the Almighty says, وَمَنْ أَحْسَنُ قَوْلًا مِمَّنْ دَعَا إِلَى اللَّهِ وَعَمِلَ صَالِحًا وَقَالَ إِنِّي مِنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. Who is better in spirit than one who invites people to Islam and does what is good and say, I am among the Muslims. Not as, praise singing or self-glorification. No, just to tell people that I am indeed a Muslim. So, and inviting others to follow you. So I am Muslim, I am inviting people. By doing that, you set a good example for others to follow. So we have done that. Dawah is nothing but spreading Islam and inviting other people to Islam by adopting and applying proper methodology. Why is Dawah necessary? For this reason. We have mentioned that today we have well over 1.7 billion Muslims around the globe. But still, this somehow, some way isn't enough, because still Islam is the second largest religion. We need to be at the top. We don't want to be second class, literally. Okay? But it is also promising, it is amazing and interesting to know that at least 15%, we record, statistically, we record an average of 15% increase. 15% increase annually. So, and for that reason, we projected that by 2020, that is within the next 5 years, population of Muslims is projected to at least increase by 25%. I will leave the math for you. Making it Islam is the second largest religion, which boils down to another important issue. Why Dawah is significant? Dawah is significant because of what we have mentioned earlier. But in addition to that, it's the best way to get ourselves closer to Allah. People who are, have no religion or have no interest in, engaging with religious activities, prefer to do something else to serve humanity. Humanitarian works, maybe something like cleaning streets, providing health care or first aid or something like that to other people, thinking that this is the best way to serve humanity. No, we don't think so, because Dawah, by doing that, you are serving spirituality of people rather than the physical, body. So by doing that, by doing Dawah, you are literally a doctor who engages in spiritual healing. And engaging in spiritual healing is by far more important than focusing on physical remedy. Do you get that? So, Daria, all those who think that it is better to serve humanity through other activities, they are wrong. It is good to start by providing spiritual healing, because we all, selves, our entity goes beyond just physical realm. We have spiritual, okay, and which is by far more everlasting, because after our death, we still have spiritual, realm to go through. So, having said that, it is far better to engage in spirituality rather than, physical. Qualifications of da'iyah are necessary. There are some. It is not, even though it is something very important. Actually, it is something strongly recommended by, but it is not something that you can just engage without having proper equipment, or they like to call proper name, that is necessary tools of taking any kind of job. So let's assume that it is a job, but it is highly, extremely technical, okay? It needs patience, wisdom, honesty, and integrity. So Da'iyah, like I say, is what? Is a doctor. But spiritual doctor, like the other kind of clinic who is concerned with our body, with our physical self, Da'iyah is more concerned with our spiritual entity. It's more concerned with our spirituality. So we shouldn't downplay the significance of spirituality in our life. Let's quickly revise those skills. Number one, everyone is okay, quickly. he needs to have what? He needs to have knowledge, no matter what. He doesn't have to be extremely knowledgeable, but at least he needs to have some knowledge. All of you are knowledgeable. You have gone through this system for over a long period of time. So at least you can do da'wah. You don't have to be Islamic scholar. You don't have to read Islamic studies. Most of those who are active in the West, I have seen them, I have found them to be people of different background. I mean, they came from various disciplines. They had various, background, not necessarily Islamic background. So some of them are qualified engineers, some doctors, but they are leaders of those organizations. Conversant with other related disciplines. So in addition to Islamic knowledge is not enough, my friend. But you need to know history. You need to know fiqh. You need to be conversant in issues also related to human and social sciences like psychology, economic, at least, not. Also, comparative religion is necessary. Knowledge of contemporary issues, knowledge of land and its people. Knowledge of land, example. In Malaysia, you need to know Bahasa Malaysia. So in that case, I'm not so qualified to, because from what I have, you have tested me, right? And you have found me to be that. So I think I'm not so qualified to, unless of course if it is in English, then I can do that. How to present communication skills, English. In Malaysia, Bahasa Malaysia. In Pakistan, what? Very good. That is why Allah the Almighty is to, to strengthen the significance of communication skills. Says, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا مِنْ رَسُولٍ إِلَّا بِلِسَانِ قَوْمِهِ لِيُبَيِّنَ لَهُمْ فَيُضِلُّ اللَّهُ مَن يَشَاءُ وَيَهْدِي مَن يَشَاءُ. We have never sent any prophet or messenger, except of course he is knowledgeable about the culture, the language of the people to whom he was sent. Okay? So it's necessary to have background knowledge about the people to whom you are sent, because without that, your task may not be that fruitful. Communication skill, English. I don't mean English per se, but I mean the language which will be effective in, so English, Bahasa Malaysia, Urdu, Arabic. But today, if you can speak English, you'll be okay, right? Everywhere you go in this world, it is, but it is sad. It is sad. English shouldn't be there. To whom to present? People of the land, people of other faiths, help me quickly. Paying attention to their temperament, habit and taste, individuality and temperament. Where to present? He should have a good source of inspiration from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We have spent a couple of weeks trying to highlight the significance of going back to Prophet's teaching in establishing the relevance of Da'iyah to any time. Because Prophet ﷺ has been a good example, extraordinarily excellent example for any da'iyah. In fact, for every human being to follow as far as success or achievement or accomplishment is concerned. We have demonstrated various examples of how he used his skills to achieve. Example of that, Treaty of Hudaybiyah. What did he do? Shema. Today. Yeah. So Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Zurina. What did he do? Just an example. Yeah, he accepted the treaty despite the fact that it was violent, highly aggressive. But Prophet ﷺ managed to overlook. This tells us that at some point, Da'iyah needs to be flexible. Not only Da'iyah, a leader of organization, of business, of anything. needs to be what? It needs to be flexible because challenges are part of life. Whether you're a student, okay, only last night I was reading someone was trying to commit suicide. So he was just asking for therapy, cognitive therapy, advice on how to really. So we are just showing them that in fact taking your life is not the answer, right? Who tells you that taking your life, the next life you find yourself in will be much better? Who told you? So probably it will be by far the worst. So what we are saying, you must be ready to accept the challenges of life the way they are, because they say if life gives you lemon, make it lemonade. So try to make best of any kind of situation you find yourself. Try to use your tactics, your skill to overcome it. Not only in da'wah, but in life, generally speaking. Okay? So you should also look all the channels and avenues available. One-on-one da'wah to harness the power of social networking sites like Facebook, Twitter. Yeah. So sometimes you see one scholar in Twitter with 3.5 million followers. Okay, even though he is one of the best, scholars, especially in Arab countries or in the Middle East. But at the same time, you will find another musician, probably from the same country, but having well over 20 million followers. This tells us that people really need trouble, okay? If they can place musician above da'iyah, even though they are extremely popular, okay? But this tells us that they prefer what? Music than da'wah or than Islamic scholars. We set a bad example and send a very wrong message to the da'iyah himself and to other people. To younger generation, that it's not good to be da'iyah. It is by far better to be what? To be musician. Because the golden rule of success says what? If you want to be successful, look for someone who is successful and simply copy them. So why not? If this one has 20 million followers, why not? Why will I go for someone with only 3.5 million followers? Marketplaces, social gatherings, churches, very important. We don't need to go and dance like they do or to sing just to please them. No, we need to stick to our ideals, because compromising our ideals will not work, will not wash. We lose ourselves whenever we compromise the very ideals that we find to defend. So as Muslims, we need to honor those ideals, not only when they are easier, but when they are hard. We need to stick to our ideals, commitment, identity, regardless of the situation. Render humanitarian service is also part of it. But no humanitarian service better than providing spiritual healing. Right? No, nothing in this world goes close to da'wah, because by doing da'wah you are providing spiritual healing, not only humanitarian. It's of course humanitarian service. It is a service to humanity, but it just goes beyond that, beyond physical realm, to include physical and spiritual and even emotional. So by doing da'wah, you are combining 2-3 things all up into one place. You are addressing the humanitarian needs of the mad'u, that is the person you are inviting, his emotional, his depression. So that is why it is extremely relevant for da'iyah to engage in psychology, as they say. Psychology is a must, because at some point we stress on the importance of importance of focusing on, the state of mind, temperament, disposition of the person you are fighting. So psychology will be a very interesting tool in that regard, because it will help you to analyze the state of mind of the person, his temperament, his disposition. Is it good now to do da'wah, or it will be better to leave it much later down the line? Because maybe if you do it now, it may not work, but it might work tomorrow. So as du'at, we need to know that, and of course we need to integrate some elements of probably